Yeah, hello everyone. I wanted to make another stream, and I have a special guest today with I don't know what do you call your channel now? Do you call it internalized misogyny, or what do you call it now?
Yeah, you can call it that, but you can use my real name if you want. My real name's on my Twitter, so it's not like I'm hiding it.
Okay. Okay. Sarah McCord. I linked both of I linked her Twitter and her channel. So if you wanna check her out and send her cool memes, which CNN condemns, you can send her that way. I wanted to first talk about the video you recently made. Because a lot of people, as you said, have kind of misunderstood what you meant when you actually made that. Do you kind of want to summarize it in like like TL didn't watch version?
Yeah, basically, um, I felt that I was overly harsh with Lacey Green in all of the videos I made about her. And looking back on them now, I really think that I was. And basically, the video was me explaining why I thought I did. And it goes into a lot of detail about, my childhood and how I was abused by my grandmother. She was overly religious and she used her religion to abuse me. And I kind of looked back at the things I was saying to Lacey, how mean I was being to her, and I was like, well, I think the reason I was doing that is because I was seeing Lacey in the same light that my grandmother was in. And the more I watch Lacey Green's videos and the more I, listen to her on Twitter and do all this stuff, I'm thinking she's not anything like my grandmother, because I know for an absolute fact that my grandmother is a manipulative bitch whose only, goal in life is to have control over everybody and everything in her life. But I don't think Lacey is like that. And that's where a lot of people who follow me get that they get kind of upset with me, because they're like, no, she is a liar, she is a manipulator, she is all this, she is all that. And I just don't believe that she is. Because with people like Anita Sarkeesian and Brianna Wu, it's easy to tell that they're manipulators. Because if you look at, like, just for an example, back when Gamergate was going on and Brianna Wu was a nobody, and then just out of nowhere she starts claiming that Gamergate is harassing her, and suddenly she's everywhere. That's obviously a manipulator. But I've never seen, maybe Lacey Green has done something like that, but I've never seen it. And when you compare Lacey Green to Brianna Wu in that regard, where Lacey, I've never seen her do anything blatantly manipulative like that. She said things that were obviously wrong, like whenever she made that video about due process and called Tobuscus a rapist.
Yeah, the
It was
rape
obvious.
video.
Yeah, it was obvious that Tobuscus is not a rapist. But I don't know that she called him one with the express purpose of being cruel, or if she actually believed it, because she believes that this woman was actually hurt, and she's just calling him out because she thinks he's a rapist. Because being manipulative requires intent, and I don't know that she has it, because I've never seen any signs of it, like not any blatant signs anyway. So that's my stance on the whole thing. I don't think she's actually a bad person. A lot of people think she's actually a bad person. I don't. But that's where a lot of the disagreements come in, is just with that in particular.
Yeah, and in your video, you actually show a remarkable insight in what you said in that video, because you basically traded one sort of kind of if I can not put it in any other ways, like toxic thoughts in your head, and then you switched it out with feminism, and then you had an anger which you projected onto her, and you felt kind of betrayed. Is that kind of the word?
Yeah,
That
because my grandmother had spent my entire life filling my head with all kinds of Christian fear-mongering, like, oh, if you play video games, you're going to burn in hell. If you tell a white lie, you're going to burn in hell. If you read Harry Potter, you're gonna burn in hell. If you like women, you're gonna burn in hell. You know, that's all I heard growing up. Burn in hell, lake of fire. Burn in hell, lake of fire. That's all I heard from her growing up. So, you know, I was sort of fear mongered into Christianity. I didn't actually believe it. I mean, I did, but not because I wanted to. I worshiped God because I thought I didn't have a choice. I thought if I didn't, I was going to burn in a lake of fire for all of eternity. You know, that's not the best way to get someone on your side. So then when I got to college and I was actually exposed to this world without Christianity, where I could actually look at Christianity objectively, and I just figured out it was all, you know, hogwash, you know, and and then I felt betrayed by my grandmother because she'd been filling my head with all this crap. And then Lacey came along. She was one of the people who kind of helped me get out of Christianity. And then I grew to respect her more than anybody I'd ever seen online. You know, I trusted her. Like, I trusted her implicitly. Everything she said, I believed because I saw her as like this savior, you know, in my head, which I kind of needed a savior back then, but it was kind of naive of me. But I trusted her implicitly. And then I found out all this stuff that she'd been telling me about feminism wasn't true. And right then, clicked in my head, oh my God, she was lying to me just like my grandmother. She was trying to manipulate me just like my grandmother, and blah, 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 blah. And then it just built and built and built. And then I just got so angry. But, you know, looking back at it now, I kind of see that that was misplaced. I didn't know that Lacey was manipulating me. I couldn't know that for sure. I'd never met the woman. No, I didn't know for sure that she was lying, because lying takes intent as well. She might not have been lying to me. She just might have been telling me stuff that she thought was true. And then it turned out it wasn't, but it still takes intent. I know that my grandmother's intentions were to hurt me, because why else would you tell a 7-year-old kid you're going to burn in the lake of fire if you play a video game? You know, what other reason could you have for doing that besides hurting her? But then I just sat down and I thought about Lacey, and I was like, well, if she actually believes these things that she says, her intention isn't to hurt. Her intention is to help. If she actually believes there's a rape culture, if she actually believes there's a patriarchy, if she actually believes all of this stuff, then in her mind, what she's doing is good. And I shouldn't, you know, I shouldn't treat her like I treated my grandmother because of that.
Yeah, it's the being malicious.
Yeah, I don't think she has malicious intent.
Yeah, yeah, and which kind of goes to like the difference between someone like Lacey Green, and we have people like Anita Sarkeesian and even Tariq Nasheed, who are on the SJW side, who just want to like the big difference is Lacey just wants to talk. So as far as I know, she hasn't changed her her opinions on anything. She just wants to talk with people, and she's now on the blacklist, which we I don't know if you're still on it, but I'm still on it. And
I deleted my old Twitter, so no, I'm probably not on it anymore. I'm not important. I'm not important enough yet.
Yeah. So she's on it now. So Heat Street wrote an article about that, and you have the difference between someone like Anita Sarkeesian, who is just intimidated, who's so afraid of other opinions about her. She just goes and harasses someone from a position of power, and just says garbage human and shithead and whatever to a guy who is just there to listen. And Tariq Nasheed now going on DMC takedown spree with Bunty King. He took 6 of his videos on, took 1 of Jeff Holliday's videos down. And I mean, I can't understand how you can have such a mentality where you do these sort of things where you're not open to any sort of discussion. It must be really lonely, to be honest.
I don't know. I can't really speak much about Tariq. I don't know enough about him to even guess his motivations. But Anita, she's obviously motivated by money. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
if you look at her at Feminist Frequencies income from what was it 2015 or 2014 or whatever, and how it shot up, you know, whenever Gamergate started, you know, and she started getting all of this money from people because she was, you know, crying harassment. But I don't I don't even know that Anita is afraid of confrontation or afraid of debate. I think she just doesn't want it to happen, period. I don't think there's any actual fear there. I think that she makes her money by saying what she wants and then silencing her critics. So when Sargon showed up there, she had to do something. She saw an opportunity to use that to her advantage. That's what I
Yeah,
think.
and she did
Because
the
what
same.
other reason could she possibly have for shouting at some random guy in the audience who wasn't saying anything?
Yeah, and I mean, she did the same with Boogie.
Oh, yeah. See, now, no, just no. That's awful. I mean, she may as well have grabbed a kitten by the back of its neck and thrown it into a wall. You don't mess with Boogie. He's like the sweetest guy in the world. Why would you do that?
Yeah, like my criticism of Boogie isn't that what he like anything he said or anything in that matter, but that he let her bully him. That's my issue. That
Well,
he let, yeah.
Boogie's always been, you know, kind of one to avoid confrontation. He's even said it himself. He's not a fighter. And you know, I can't blame him for that. I'm not really a fighter either. I don't like fighting with people. And 9 times out of 10, if someone's a dick to me, I just stand there and take it. But then when someone's mean to somebody else, I stand up for them. There's just certain people who are like that. I think if Anita would have started going off on somebody Boogie cared about, he would have stood up to her. Because he seems like that kind of person, but he's kind of like me in the fact that when someone's mean to him, he just stands there and takes it. Because he doesn't, I don't want to say he doesn't care about himself enough, but it's just like, for some people, it's easier to defend somebody else than it is to defend themselves.
Yeah, because what I saw in the comment section, because the first video he made about this, he got a lot of downvotes and people criticizing him, is that he he was being basically still being manipulated by Arina Sarkeesian, making excuses for her, uh, and it was really tough to see that she had this hold on him, and he was trying not to offend her for 3 weeks prior, and all the nervousness she caused him, and she uh, it doesn't seem she didn't give a fuck what she did to him.
I was on Boogie's side the entire time because I understood what he was going through. I never criticized him even once for how he acted because he knows he's not going to say it, but he knows what Anita's capable of. He knows that she could ruin him if she wanted. So I don't blame him for being afraid. I don't blame him for trying to pacify her. Boogie's not a confrontational person. He's not the kind of person who can I'm not going to say he can't stand up to Anita because I think he could, but he's not the kind of person who would, you know, go out of his way to fight her. And he knows what she really is. He won't say it because he doesn't want to piss her off, and I don't blame him, but he knows. So I think his reaction was pretty much to be expected. He didn't
Yeah,
want to poke the bear. See,
I mean it's
someone like me, I can poke the bear. I've got nothing to lose. I don't have a career. I'm a stay-at-home wife. I don't have anything for her to ruin. What's she gonna do? Call my husband and tell him that I cheated on him? He'd laugh in her face. I mean, but then someone like Boogie who actually has something to lose, something that she can take from him. Because if he doesn't have his YouTube channel, what does he have? You know.
yeah.
So
Yeah, but
uh,
it's kind of scary just to see the power she has over someone like him who just wants to play games and have fun and stuff like that. And even when she's not around and he makes that video, she still is manipulating him still to kind of say what he did.
yeah, and
That's what would bother me.
yeah, and I think a lot of people a lot of people who are still really angry at Lacey need to take this into account. When You know, whenever they like to say that she's just like Anita, well, which one was bullying Boogie and which one was on his side? You know, Anita was the one treating him like shit. Lacey was on his side. Lacey talked to him and said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe she did that to you." You know, and she didn't have to do that. If she was the vicious manipulator everyone wants us to believe she is, she could have just kept her mouth shut.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
and you know, because really, what good would it do for her to be nice to Boogie if she's trying to manipulate people? Because I just don't see. I mean, I guess it could be a way to quote unquote get us on her side, but it just seems like a lot of trouble when she could have just ignored it, you know?
yeah, yeah. That's true. Yeah, because um, I was first really skeptical because being a part of Gamergate and just being told I'm racist and a sexist and whatever, all the weasel words, for so long, I was kind of skeptical. I would say at least a month until I let up, because it's kind of hard to let your guard down after all the crap that's happened.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, because time again, people like me have been crapped on, even you as well, just for liking games, which is something just that boggles my mind. Like, you should be able to just enjoy the games and want a little bit of honesty, but that's apparently too much to ask for. When someone like Lacey says she wants to talk to people, like, there's some skepticism first, but like seeing, I'm looking at it like Ian Miles Chong, with Lacey, where Ian Miles Chong for the longest time had all of this rhetoric which the SJW used, and then said like, okay, I'm sorry, I screwed up, I'm gonna change things. And people weren't like taking him on with open arms, but they said like, okay, then prove it with your actions, and he did. And people are forgiving if you let them, and stop calling them things without actually talking to them. So Lacey, so far, from her tweeting out and her videos, I think she's being sincere and actually wants to talk with people, even though might not change her mind all that much. But at least chatting with people is what I consider important.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are having a hard time seeing Lacey the same way that they saw Ian, specifically because, and a lot of my followers have said this to me too, that they're not gonna that they're not gonna fully accept her unless she apologizes. And I can understand that viewpoint to an extent, but the difference between Ian and Lacey is Ian apologized because he'd actually changed his views and he actually regretted the things that he'd done. Now, Lacey hasn't changed her views yet. I think she will once she really gets into all this. But the problem with people is they want her to apologize before they'll even listen to her, you know, but before they'll even consider that she's genuine. And it's like, I've told this to a couple of my followers, like, do you really want her to apologize because we made her? Because that's not going to be a real apology. If you make somebody apologize for something, it's not going to mean anything unless they mean it. And the only way Lacey's going to apologize is if she no longer believes that all these things she said in the past are true. And in order to do that, she has to talk to the other side. She has to learn. And right now, this is all new. She hasn't talked to very many people yet. So we need to we need to give her more time. And it's like I've told them, she's been a feminist a hell of a lot longer than I was. And it still took me several months to get past it. And she's for years she's been a feminist. And she's been talking about all this stuff. And seriously, if we as I don't like saying community, but I'm just going to use community for lack of a better term. If we in this community, if we push away and treat every single person who wants to talk like a pariah because they haven't apologized, what the hell are we doing? Are we actually trying to change minds? Or are we just looking for a gotcha? Because I don't want a gotcha. I want to change minds. That's the whole reason I made my YouTube channel to begin with. I want someone to watch my videos and question what they've been taught. I don't expect them to apologize to me for the things that they said in the past before they do that. So I don't understand the point in expecting an apology out of Lacey.
Yeah, I think she should at least talk in private with Roaming Millennial and all the debacle that happened there. And generally, I think what she said on November 8th regarding, like, congratulations, white supremacists won or something.
Yeah,
Like that was really bad. Just
that
spouting off that whoever wins, we should all embrace unity, just like an hour before that or something like that.
Yeah.
But it should be genuine, not like, as you said, we shouldn't force her, and it should be organic. And that's why I've been more accepting to what she's done, because as I said, I was very skeptical at first when she changed so so to speak, her opinion or mind to talk to people. So that's kind of my mindset. But we can kind of move on to, like, the big topic at hand, which is the CNN blackmail thing. I'm sure you
Oh
have
yes,
you
that
have
shit
it.
show. Yeah.
So let me screen share. This one is the correct one, I think. There we go. You can see this, right?
Yep.
So, like, what I find really ironic is that, like, 4chan is now doing the meme war and all of that, wanting to go after advertisers, and I just find it really ironic because it was 4chan that banned Gamergate discussion of ethics in journalism off their site almost 3 years ago. So
Yeah, well, maybe they have new people in charge now.
yeah, well, they changed the site owner, so yeah. But I mean, I have to say it is a little bit ironic. So, like, saying 3 years afterwards, like, we told you so. Uh, like, seriously, we told you so for 3 freaking years, and everyone laughed at us. And now we see you have a big corporate entity like CNN going after a goddamn Reddit user for making a GIF. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
I saw a chain of tweets by, I don't even know who this was, but they were like going back by the decade, talking about journalism in the past. They went all the way back to 1870, whenever journalists snuck in undercover into these mental health facilities and uncovered all of the abuse that was going on inside of that. It's like, oh yeah, these journalists, risked their lives to go into this place and uncover, all this abuse that was being done by these doctors, and then jump to 2017 and, oh my god, a journalist got butthurt because some guy shared a meme.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, how the mighty hath fallen.
Yeah. So let's at least go through the main article, which has been on everyone's mind. From the K file, Andrew Kaczynski. I also saw a few tweets where he condemned doxing. And he deleted them, of course, but the internet, the internet is forever, my friend. So I have actually a few screenshots. I can probably post them to my Twitter afterwards, or I share them with my Imgur, so or Imager, whatever you call it. Here, the Reddit user who initially claimed credit for President Donald Trump's tweet that showed Trump tackling CNN's issued an apology Tuesday for the video and other offensive content he posted. Wow.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, well, it was obviously coerced. They may as well have been holding a gun to his head.
Yeah, well, see, the next line here is the thing that's telling. One day after CNN identified the man behind the account and attempted to make contact with him. So he
Attempted.
apologized a day because he knew the shitstorm was coming. But they're like, it wasn't us. I mean, we just contacted him saying we knew who he was. Like, it wasn't us. So I can see through that stuff right away, because he knew what was gonna come with CNN, and I checked actually today, and he deleted his account. He deleted everything. He just wiped it. Because he actually has a family, and I think he had maybe kids or something, and CNN is threatening to go after his entire life. Like, Jesus.
Well, of course they'll deny that, but that's what happened. Why else would he apologize, so quickly? Like literally right after they called him, why would he immediately start groveling unless they threatened him? I mean, that's the only way he would do that because he's got nothing to apologize for. So the only reason he would apologize is if they threatened him.
Yeah, and if they have his email, then they know who he is. So he's gonna he's gonna take precautions right away because he knows what the media is gonna crucify him otherwise.
Crucify him, crucify his children, crucify his wife. They'll find any way they can to smear him. I mean, they're not going to do anything like kill him or anything, but character assassination is almost as bad.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Here, Reddit user Han Asshole Solo.
I love that name.
First shared the GIF last Wednesday of Trump pummeling a wrestler with the CNN's logo imposed on his face. Yeah, but like the entire argument that CNN has done is that this is inciting violence against CNN as an entity. Yet they had no problem with Kathy Griffin and didn't condemn that one.
No, well, it's okay.
It's okay when we do it.
Yeah, the only thing that happened was, she got fired, but the only one who said anything was Anderson Cooper. I said, like, I'm not going to work with him in the future. That was it.
Yeah, well, it's okay whenever you're, promoting violence against Trump, which the whole Kathy Griffin thing was awful, but I don't know if she was actually telling people to go out and kill Trump. I think she was I think she just thought she was being clever.
Edgy.
Or thought she was being funny. I don't think she actually had any ill intent, but come on, man. You don't hold up the severed head of the president. Come on, you just don't do that. That's stupid.
Yeah, but I also saw like some concerned trolls on the other side. Oh, think of his youngest son. Oh.
Yeah, see, I read an article that claimed that the boy was all traumatized and stuff, and it's like, come on, we're not stupid. You're just saying that because you want to get sympathy. I doubt the kid even saw it, because the mom was claiming the kid saw it, and he was like, oh my God, I'm so scared, and then ran from the room. It's like, yeah, okay, this isn't Hollywood, sweetheart.
Yeah. So and like I'm very pro free speech, and I don't think Kathy Griffin should have lost her job, but like it was really stupid of her doing that, and same goes for that play which the alt-righters picketed and tried to stop, where Trump, the Julius Caesar play, where Trump was basically Caesar and got killed. But the problem with that argument was, like a few years before, they had Obama as Julius Caesar.
Yeah, so they've done it with every president. It wasn't something that was specifically against Trump. It's just something that company does.
The entire point of that, it's bad killing like the president. That's the whole freaking point.
That was the whole point of Julius Caesar, is that you shouldn't kill the people like that who are in charge. You shouldn't do that. So that's why the whole 'cause at first when I didn't know that this company had been doing this for years, I thought maybe this is something that's anti-Trump, because I'd never heard of it before. And then a couple people on Twitter showed me that that they've been doing this for years. And I was like, oh, okay. So this isn't anti-Trump. This is probably anti-American government in general, you know, or like you said, it's a protest against assassinating people who are in charge. It could be either or. It could be both.
But that's beautiful. It's up for interpretation.
Uh-huh.
They haven't gone out and say, "Oh, let's kill Trump." They didn't.
Nope.
So here, CNN could find no early instance of the GIF. The GIF was later edited into a video with sound and tweeted by the president on Sunday. Her my gird.
No earlier instances of the GIF. Yeah, probably because they weren't looking. They probably looked in like one or two places and then decided, oh nope, we can't find it anywhere else. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, there have been numerous articles now, even BuzzFeed of all places, saying, CNN, you got the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it makes them look so bad.
Good job, dumbasses.
Like the biggest entity in news goes after some poor schmuck who made a GIF.
Yeah, and then this guy who's been going after this poor GIF maker. Didn't it come to light that he'd also character assassinated some woman back in the day? Like she was on her way to South Africa, and he character assassinated her while she was on the plane. And then when she landed, she lost her job.
Oh yeah, that was wasn't it the cholera, whatever like virus was in Africa, and she said, "Oh, I hope I don't catch this virus or whatever," and she lost her job before she landed. Jesus Christ!
She said she hoped she didn't catch a disease, and then she. Okay, I didn't know that part. I just knew that he character assassinated her. I didn't know what she said. That was nothing. I hope I don't get this disease. I mean, especially if the disease was rampant in South America at that time. How could that possibly be seen as something bad?
Yeah, I don't know. But like, yeah, I saw a video. I think where they showed the article. There was one. I think it was Daily Caller or something, where they had a few quotes of him, and he was basically shit posting on forums. There was nothing malicious. He had very dark sense of humor, and he posted on a forum that is something like this: "I'm gonna end in hell for this," or something like that. So basically, had like very dark humor and. Like saying about a Asian car crash or something like that, and said, I hope he doesn't have a chink in his car or something like that. Like very dark humor, like shit posting, and basically that was all what that's what he was doing. I mean, look at his name, Han Asshole Solo, like. No serious dude is gonna call himself Han Asshole Solo and be a serious political commentator. Jesus Christ.
So there's pretty much no evidence that he's actually racist or anything like that. That he's some
some random dude who had like really edgy humor, but the entire sub where he posted those so-called anti-Semitic racist stuff. It's basically the edgy shit posting.
So it's just people saying offensive stuff, trying to be offensive. It's not that they actually mean it. Okay.
Yeah. So the entire subreddit, it said in the description, it's basically saying the bad stuff which you're gonna end in hell for. So.
Okay, so basically the people or the people who are defending CNN threatening to dox him are saying it's okay to dox him because of some joking stuff that he said on some random subreddit somewhere.
Yeah, okay. But they don't know context because they don't know how to internet.
Yeah, well, it didn't take you long to find out that this subreddit was just a bunch of people being offensive for the sake of being offensive. It probably wouldn't take them very long to find it either.
Yeah, They just ignored it. So here, Reddit user Han Asshole Solo first shared the GIF last Wednesday of pummeling a wrestler. It's not a wrestler. It's a CEO.
It was
Jesus
McMahon,
Christ.
wasn't it?
Yeah, Vince McMahon. I remember watching that WrestleMania. I think it was WrestleMania 23, if I'm not, or no, 24, I think, where they had basically shave your hair. The guy who loses has to shave his hair, and it was very compelling because everyone wanted Trump to shave his head. But of course, wrestling is fake, so Vince McMahon shaved his head. With CNN's logo imposed on his face, and could find no early instant. The GIF was tweeted. Han on Reddit. Han also took credit for inspiring the tweet. Soon after, Han also Solo's other posts on Reddit, some of which included racist, anti-Semitic imagery, quickly circulated on media.
It just amazes me. It amazes me how quickly the left goes back to giving a shit about anti-Semitism whenever it suits them. But then whenever whenever there's blatant anti-Semitic sentiments from like Muslims and Islamic people, they don't give a shit. But then as soon as they can use it to their advantage, suddenly they care again. It's just, I can't tell if the left cares about anti-Semitism or not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's selective, relative.
Anyway.
So to speak. Now the user is apologizing. Of course he's apologizing. You're basically putting all of his Reddit posts out of context and don't show the like they're supposed to be jokes, and just saying, oh, look at this racist. Writing in a lengthy post on Reddit that he does not advocate violence. Like, do we really live in a time where you have to go out and say, oh, I don't advocate violence? Isn't that really implied in how we are as a society? That really you have to go out and say, I'm not for violence, really?
Wow, people who say things like that, they don't say it because they feel like they have to. They say it because someone else is making them say it. They feel obligated to say it.
And that's like the imagery I saw on the meme on Twitter. We have basically ISIS members and the guy who's talking, and they switched out the heads with CNN and the guy, the Reddit user, like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Like, this is basically it. We didn't force him to. He's just reading off a paper of his own free will. Like, Jesus. Against the press and expressing remorse there in an interview with CNN for other posts he made that were racist and anti-Semitic.
Yeah, racist and anti-Semitic. It's it just makes me facepalm so hard that they're taking all that stuff he said in that subreddit seriously. Whenever, you know what, I think that they probably know he wasn't serious, but it gets them ratings because it's a hell of a lot easier for the average viewer to simply be outraged at something than it is for them to actually look into it and see that this isn't true. Just like the whole Gamergate thing. If anybody who gave a shit bothered to look into it, they would have found out real quick that it was nowhere near what it was being shown as in the media. But it's a lot easier to just be outraged. It's a lot easier to just flip that switch. And that's what keeps CNN going, is the outrage, and they know that.
Yeah. I mean, but it's gonna hurt them, like the Washington Post thing with PewDiePie. Like, they're basically all lost all credibility.
Oh man, I could not believe they had the balls to go after PewDiePie. Jesus, of all the YouTubers you could have gone after, you picked PewDiePie. Good job.
You could have gone after people like Keemstar, and everyone would have like cheered. But like PewDiePie, really?
Like that man is worth more than your entire company. You go after him. It's like, are you stupid? Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing about what's going on with Tariq Nasheed right now, where he's going after all the smaller YouTubers, but he's leaving Philip DeFranco alone because he knows better. But apparently Washington whatever didn't know better.
Yeah. Here the apology came after CNN's KAK file identified the man behind Han Asshole Solo using identifying information. Whoops, sorry. That Han Asshole. Why are they repeating the same? Why can't they say the Reddit user instead of censoring? Jesus Christ. Han Asshole Solo posted on Reddit. K-File was able to determine key biographical details to find. This is really freaking creepy.
Yeah.
Like, if you found his IP illegally, you're in big trouble.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. If I burp or hiccup a lot in this, I apologize in advance. I am pregnant and I have not stopped burping since I got pregnant.
It's okay. It's okay. To find the man's name using a Facebook search. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's some stalker shit. That's like what a creepy stalker does when they're trying to find someone online.
How did they find his name? Like they
Magic.
would have had to IP search and found people who were using the Facebook from that IP or something. Because this is really freaking creepy.
I'm sure they have their ways.
Yes, and ultimately corroborate details he had made available on Reddit. On Monday, K-File attempted to contact the man by email and phone, but he did not respond. Yeah, of course he did not respond, you fucking idiots. Like, he was probably freaking the fuck out. Like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. That was probably going through his head.
Well, it's probably more like, okay, I gotta protect my kids, so guess I'd better start groveling.
Yeah. On Tuesday, Han Asshole Solo posted. Can't you just say this Reddit? Oh my god. Posted his apology on the subreddit, the Donald, and deleted all of his other posts. So, let's go through this so-called apology. First of all, I would like to apologize to members of the Reddit community for getting this site and the sub embroiled in a controversy that should never ever have happened. I would also like to apologize for the posts made that were racist, bigoted, and anti-Semitic. I am in no way this kind of person. I love and accept people of all walks of life and have done so for my entire life. I am not the person that the media portrays me to be in real life. I was trolling and posting things to get a reaction from the subs on Reddit and never meant any of the hateful things I said on those posts. I will never support any kind of violence or actions against others simply for what they believe in their religion or lifestyle they choose to have. Nor would I carry out any violence against anyone based upon that or support anyone who did.
This sounds eerily similar to whenever Joss Whedon was like talking about how basically apologizing to all the feminists who came after him after the second Avengers movie with the whole Black Widow thing.
Yeah, and that was actually more of the interesting part of the movie, I thought. Which
like, oh my god, they gave her character development. This is wrong. She has to be one-dimensional. Otherwise, we can't insert ourselves into her. Oh god, that sounded bad.
That's what he said.
Okay, I should think before I speak.
Yeah, but like things like that, where you have actually, because Black Widow is basically a blank slate for regular people, unless you read the comics or watch like the animated series. Black Widow actually got some development in Avengers 2, showing why she's so cold and apathetic, because she had to be to survive, basically.
Yeah, and just like the whole thing with Joss Whedon, he claims that nobody was mean to him, and then this freaking guy gets on Twitter and he was like, "Oh, I talked to Han asshole Solo, and he has denied that he was ever threatened." It's like, yeah, okay, and I bet if he shows up tomorrow with a black eye, he'll say he walked into a door. I mean, it's of course he's going to say you didn't threaten him. You threatened him.
Okay. Yeah, everyone can see through that lie. The user further apologized for calls for violence against the press in his statement already. Like, can we again repeat what this is about? It's about a fucking gif of a wrestling match, and wrestling is fake, of Donald Trump before he was president, and this is where my brain just breaks down. And he has to apologize that he doesn't want to call for violence against the press.
Yeah, I mean, this argument should never be happening. If anything, the only thing I can think anybody would have any kind of reason to critique here is, should the president be tweeting things like that? No, probably not, but it's funny. it shows he's not all posting. It shows he's not all serious all the time, and people can relate to him better if he does stuff like that. I mean, you could argue one way or the other whether or not that's appropriate. That conversation I can understand having. What I don't understand having is the conversation claiming that the president is inciting violence, or that the person who made the meme is inciting violence. I don't understand having that conversation whenever it's obviously a joke, just like the whole Kathy Griffin thing. It was a bad joke. It was a joke. It was a bad one. And but
here the meme was created purely as satire. It was not meant to be a call to violence against CNN or any other news affiliation. I had no idea anyone would take it and put sound to it. Yeah, but Jesus Christ, it's the internet. And then have to have it put up on the president's Twitter feed. You're like, who the fuck would know that the president would tweet out your GIF? Like,
yeah, and it's the fact that they're blaming this guy for something that Trump did. Like, he could have controlled where his meme went once he made it.
Yeah, but because they can't go after him because he's just gonna brush it off, but they can go after the guy who made it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, yeah, if the president does something you don't like, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. But if you're really hell-bent on revenge, or really hell-bent on getting yourself a good story, then the next best thing is to go after the person who's the lowest common denominator. And you know, he's just a guy. He's got no power. He doesn't have a lot of money. And CNN has a lot of money, so they needed a story, and they chose a victim so they could get one.
Yeah. It was a prank, nothing more. What the president's feed showed was not the original post that was posted here, but loaded up somewhere else, and someone added to it. Yeah, but why does that even matter? I thought it was the original post that was made, and that is why I took credit for it. I have the highest respect for the journalist community, and they have put their lives on the line every day with the jobs they do in reporting the news. Yeah.
I want to know one person who works for CNN that's actually put their lives on the line to do anything.
The apology has since been taken down by the moderators of Donald. Yeah, because they see through that shit, and because they realize this is fucking fake. Like, they knew this was bullshit. This guy was being forced to do this, and they didn't want to like enable CNN the high ground. Oh, look at this guy. He's groveling on your subreddits.
Well, it doesn't matter. CNN is still using it, so
yeah,
deleting it didn't really do any good.
Nope. After posting his apology, Han Assel, Jesus Christ, can you stop? Can you just stop? Jesus Christ. Called CNN and KFOD and confirmed his identity in the interview. Han Solo sounded nervous about his identity being revealed and asked to not be named out of fear for his personal safety and for the public embarrassment it would bring him to him and his family. Yeah.
And then we get to the best part.
Yeah. CNN is not publishing Han Solo's name. Oh, goodness gracious. Aren't you merciful? Aren't we merciful? If I'm quoting Gladiator. Name because he is a private citizen who has issued an extensive statement of. So this is the only reason. Like, he's a private citizen, but he has issued an extensive statement of apology and showed his remorse by saying he has taken down all of his offending posts. And because he said he's not going to repeat this ugly behavior on social media again. In addition, he said that this statement could serve as an example to others not to do the same. Jesus fucking Christ. Wow.
CNN reserves the right to publish his identity should any of that change.
Yeah. And like,
he was a good boy and groveled like he was supposed to and said he wasn't going to do it again. So we're going to be nice and not risk his personal safety. But if he steps out of line one more time, that's the end of it. That's what I heard.
Yeah, and then this last sentence here. In addition, he said statement could serve as an example to others not to do the same. Like, CNN is basically using this guy to say, hey, don't do this.
It's like, hey,
do you know what you just did with that sentence, CNN? You just said to artists on the fucking internet not to post memes. Do you realize what you just did? Oh my God.
I don't think they care. It's a story. They needed a story and they got one. And, you know, despite all of this press about them being negative press, it's still press. They're still getting attention. I think they'll regret it if Gamergate 2.0 gets started and they start losing funding because of people calling their sponsors.
That's what I saw a post on 4chan, and that's what they're actually doing now, because the ratings have dropped to 13th, and 4chan is actually going after their advertisement.
Well, that's the way to get them to straighten up. If you actually care enough about CNN to want them to succeed, which I don't care one way or the other, but that's the way to get them to apologize and stop being stupid, is to attack them in the pocketbook.
Yeah, and I saw 4chan again. This is really freaking ironic. After we told them 3 years ago to look into this shit, and they told us to fuck off, is one of the posters or one of the threads said we should just forget everything that's in the past, forget about our political differences. We're gonna go after CNN. Where have I heard this before? Where have I heard this before? This is the exact goddamn thing Gamergate did. Well, we have all sorts of gamers and people who would usually hate each other and say fag and all that sort of stuff over playing games and talk trash to each other. But because we had a unified goal, people would be autistic as hell and actually try to go after these people.
Oh my God, I feel dumb. Because I just read that MAGA thing, and I did not know that's what the acronym was. I should have known that. I feel really dumb right now. Wow.
Yeah, oh. But I didn't understand it at first when I saw that. Like, what the hell is MAGA? But during the election, I'm like, what the hell is MAGA?
I feel so dumb right now. How did I not know that's what that was? I feel really stupid. Okay.
After Trump tweeted the video on Sunday, Han Solo took to Reddit to say he was honored, writing, "Holy shit. Yeah, of course. I would be the same. Like, holy shit, the God Emperor. wake up and have my morning coffee. Who retweets my shit post? But the MAGA Emperor himself. I'm honored. MAGA is an acronym for the president's campaign slogan: "Make America great again." Yeah.
And you know, the sad thing is that probably pissed them off more than the actual meme itself, was the fact that he was honored by the president retweeting it, because you know how much CNN hates Trump. So they probably were more pissed off about that.
I would probably have the exact same reaction, like, holy shit, Trump retweeted my GIF. I would have the exact same reaction.
Yeah, I would too.
In the phone interview on Tuesday, Han Asshole Solo said the White House did not ask his permission to you. Of course they didn't. It's the internet. Are they just gonna and said he would probably have said no if they had. Like, I wonder. I'm wondering, are there actually interns in the White House searching for shit posts on Reddit?
You know, they say occasionally Trump actually gets on his Twitter himself and does shit. I like to think that was actually Trump who retweeted that. But no, I love how they say that, oh well, if the White House had asked his permission, he would have said no. It's like, no, he wouldn't have. He's just saying that because it's what you want to hear. If Trump would have come up to him and said, hey, can I retweet your meme? He would have been like, oh fuck yeah, do it. But because he's, you know, got a gun pointed at his head, he's going to say whatever they want to hear.
Yeah. I didn't realize that post will be picked up the way it was. He said I should never have even said anything.
No, CNN should just keep their nose firmly up their asses where it belongs.
No. Trump has not issued an apology for the tweet, which he said. Why the fuck would he send an apology?
Expecting Trump to apologize. Come on, man. These people clearly don't know how big of an ego that man has.
Jesus H. Christ. Which he sent Sunday morning. You would actually have a better argument trying to convert creationists to atheism than Trump apologizing for his goddamn tweets. Like, seriously.
Actually, it would be harder to convert an atheist back to creationism.
Yeah,
because converting a creationist to an atheist isn't that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, but it would take time. That was my point. It would kind of take time. Homeland Security Advisor Tom Bossett said on ABC's This Week that no one would perceive the tweet as a threat.
That's because no normal person would, and I don't think CNN did either. I think they just needed something to latch onto to make a story out of, and so they did that. I don't think anybody at CNN was actually offended.
Yeah.
They just saw an opportunity to trash Trump, and they took it. It was
and that's how they just wanted clicks, but it's gonna bite them in the ass long term. I'm just
yeah.
The Committee to Protect Journalists said in a statement this week that the tweet undermines the work. Oh my God! Undermines. Do you really want to go that route? Because I can go and search up SPJ and look at how many ethical violations you had just in this article alone. Like, seriously, you cannot claim the fucking high ground here, morally or ethically. There is no high ground for you to hide behind.
Well, I mean, they can claim the high ground. It's just not going to do them any good, because the only people who are on their side are retards like Brianna Wu.
Yeah. Undermines the work of the media in the US and makes it more dangerous. Yeah, citation needed, fucker.
Okay, I take that back. That's an insult to retarded people. I'm sorry, retarded people. Okay. Encourages violence against reporters. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. CNN said in a statement that the tweet encourages violence against reporter. Yeah, of course they did.
But Kathy Griffith holding up the head of Donald Trump doesn't promote violence against Donald Trump. Okay, that's fine.
On Monday, a senior administration official told CNN that the video was not pulled from Reddit. Oh my God, they're going after the site as well.
Reddit doesn't care.
But
what are they going to do? Take down Reddit? That's not going to happen. If they actually go after Reddit, they're going to have the entire internet after them. That would not be good.
Yeah,
which they already do, I guess.
The audacity of these people, Jesus! It's like these rich kids who never got heard the word no.
Well, maybe that's probably some of them, but I'd say for the most part, it's just a bunch of people who are trying to make money, and this is the easy way to do it.
Yeah,
it's easy to make money off outrage. It's a lot harder to make money off the truth, because the truth isn't usually as interesting.
I find the truth more interesting.
Well, I mean, to most people. I mean, if you see a headline that says, "Oh, dude, oh, some cop saved a guy from getting hit by a car," and then you put it next to the headline, "Cop shoots black guy who didn't have a gun in his hand." I mean, which one is gonna get more outrage? Which one's gonna get more attention? The one that's outrageous or the one that's not? And that's how CNN operates. They get the most outrageous thing that they can possibly get, even if they have to twist it to make it outrageous. Because outrage sells. Especially nowadays with this crazy social justice climate where everybody's offended at everything, it's a hell of a lot easier to sell outrage to a bunch of people who are just looking to be offended. And there's so many people now who want to be offended by something because that's just how they get their kicks. So CNN's just, it's actually a good business decision. It's shit. It's a shitty thing to do morally, but it's a good business decision. It makes them money. And that's why they keep doing it.
Yeah, well, not the White House still has not responded to a series of questions from CNN asking how the video ended up. Oh my God! You cannot be this mentally weak.
Trying to make themselves look like the good guys here, like, oh well, we're trying to look at the other side, but they're just not answering. It's like, no, you're not. You knew they weren't going to respond to this whenever you talked to them about it because it's stupid, and you know it's stupid. But you need to sell your clicks. You need clicks, and you need to sell a story. So this is how you do it. It's
It's basically just plausible deniability that, like, say, oh, we tried to contact them, but they didn't want to talk to us. So,
and we don't even know if they actually tried. They could just be saying that they tried when they didn't.
Yeah, but again, it's plausible deniability.
Mm-hmm.
Han Asshole Solo said about the president's tweet, I think they should have used their better judgment since the president's tweets things off the cuff is a knee-jerk reaction. This sounds so rehearsed. I don't feel that they should have posted something like that given the controversy going on between them and the media. Oh my God.
In his head, he's going, "Good job, Trump. Good job. Good job." Because I'm willing to bet money that as soon as he saw that tweet on Trump, that tweet on Trump's Twitter, that he was laughing and celebrating with the rest of us.
Yeah.
Funny.
When asked specifically about his other posts that consisted of racist Islam, oh my God, Islamophobic.
That's new favorite buzzword.
It's Islamophobic and Nazi, which are the two new ones, and anti-Semitic language and imagery. Oh my! I just hate Islamophobic. Oh my God. He answered, I love people of all races, creeds, and origins. One of my best friends is a homosexual, and one of my best friends is Jewish, and one of my best friends is Muslim. This is like someone who really stressful. I have a friend that's homosexual. I have a friend that's Jewish, and a friend that's Muslim. Look! I'm a good boy.
Yeah. And you know that gay person, that Jewish person, and that Muslim person probably didn't mind that he made those jokes. They probably laughed along with him because they're not stupid. But yeah, I can't believe there hasn't been anybody from CNN or anybody call him out about that and be like, oh, just because you have a homosexual friend, a Jewish friend, and a Muslim friend doesn't mean you're not racist or anti-Semitic or homophobic or sexist or racist or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it kind of does. Because why would someone who's anti-Semitic be friends with a Jew? Why is someone who's homophobic be friends with a gay person? I can't talk. Why would someone who's homophobic be friends with a gay person? Why would someone who is Islamophobic be friends with a Muslim? They wouldn't. They wouldn't do that.
Nope. In his apology on Reddit, Han Asshole Sona sent a message. I think the only reason they're repeating this goddamn thing is to hammer in this guy's username or some shit like that. Like, so that people remember it. The people who troll on the internet for fun, consider your words and actions. This sounds like 1984 shit.
Mm-hmm.
This first sentence, conveyed in your message or who it might upset or anger. Put yourself in their shoes before you post it. If you have a problem with trolling, it is an addiction. Just, oh my God.
Oh, this poor guy. I feel so bad for him.
Jesus.
What did they say to him? What did they do? What did they threaten to do to him? I feel so bad. This is like a freaking battered spouse, you know, just sitting there making excuses for what their spouse did to them and apologizing for what they did. It's just so awful. It's so sad. Trolling is nothing.
Just shit posting is just like any other addiction. What? What?
And you know that this is a script that CNN wrote for him.
Yeah.
Because
of course.
What actual shit poster would think it's an addiction like any other addiction? Come on now. Because this is spoken like a person who's never had an addiction.
Someone can have to something, and don't be embarrassed to ask. What?
Ask for help with my shit posting. Hi, this is this the addictions hotline? I need help. I am addicted to posting shit online. Can you help me?
I'm a level 5 shit posting shitlord. Please help me.
So what would the coin look like? Like the coin you get from AA for being
Pepe.
for being yeah. What would the coin look like? Have a picture of Pepe.
Pepe with the Kyrgyzstan flag. Yeah, but, oh my God.
Call it TA. Trolling Anonymous or SPA shit posting anonymous.
Oh my God.
It's so stupid.
And how would there be a hotline for this? Yes, this is Shitlord Anonymous help for shit posters. What can I help you with?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I need help. I just spent 3 hours posting shit posts about Donald Trump. I don't have a life. Please help me.
Okay, calm down. What did you post? Like, this would sound so stupid if you were listening into that conversation. Oh, I was posting a Pepper meme who was sad about the state of CNN, and I know that's bad.
Oh, this is hilarious. I shouldn't be laughing because this is sad. This guy's been threatened into saying all these horrible things, but damn it. Because you know this is the stuff that CNN told him to say. So this is all stuff that they believe, or they expect us to think that he believes, and it's just it's so bad, and it's so funny when you think about the implications of it. I shouldn't be laughing though. This is sad. This is so sad. I feel so bad for this guy.
But if you just think about what they told him to write here, you just can't but laugh because it's so freaking absurd. It's so absurd. Trolling is nothing more than bullying a wide audience. What does that even mean?
You know, and bullying also requires intent. You can't unintentionally bully someone. You have to be trying to hurt them in order to bully them. And some guy posting some stupid, outrageous thing online isn't trying to bully someone. He's just shit posting.
This is what they're doing, is bullying.
Yeah, definitely, because they have intent. Their intention is to silence him, but it doesn't matter.
Don't feed your own self-worth based upon inflicting suffering upon others online just because you're behind a keyboard. Isn't that what CNN is doing?
No, just change a few words around. Don't feed your own. Wait, scroll back down.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. Don't feed your own self-worth based upon inflicting suffering upon random citizens just because you have the money to do it. Because that's essentially what CNN's done. They've targeted a regular citizen who doesn't have money, who probably works for a living to support his family because they can. And because it's making them money off clicks. Well, that's why I've got ad blocker. That's why I've got ad blocker on my
exactly,
on my
same
computer.
here. There are only a few sites. Like I don't have any ads on YouTube because it would be hypocritical for me to have AdSense on and not to watch the ads on other people's video. It would be extremely hypocritical. Otherwise, I basically ad blocker on, yeah, as you can see here, or I don't know if you can see my tab.
Oh yeah, I see.
But yeah, I have an ad blocker, so I mean, it's gonna take too long time if we're gonna go through the other one. But we can talk about the hypocritical things, Brianna Wu. Like regarding this article right here, we have gone a little bit over now, so we can take this article. Otherwise, if we go through this article, it's gonna take one more hour or so. I mean,
that's all right. I don't have a whole lot to say about Brianna Wu here. I mean, this is just her attempt to get back in the spotlight.
This is more like the mindset, because I haven't just seen her say this. I saw her, Cinia Jones. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, she basically said the same thing. Let me one sec.
Yeah, that it's okay to dox this guy because he said mean things online before. That's essentially what it is. Oh, he said some things online that I don't like, so therefore it's okay to dox him.
Yeah, some shit like that. One sec. I have like a funny thing which I can include here. Here we go. Which someone in my Discord got sent. Is basically a plead for help for a Congress, for her being a Congresswoman.
Oh yeah, I remember that, where her husband is like pleading for money so that Brianna can become can become a congressperson or whatever. Like, yeah, that's dumb.
I got it. It's slow. Fuck. That's what happens when you stream and try to take up new articles at the same time.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, come on. Oh. Oh, come on. Ugh. I apologize. Ugh. Is it locked up? Hello. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah, what happened?
Oh, sorry about that.
What happened? Did it lock up?
Yeah, I just locked up when I opened the Chrome didn't want to open the Brianna Wu link.
That's okay. It was probably because it had Brianna Wu in it. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
No,
It
that's
was
all right.
just kind of. So let me just screen share again. Here we go. Yeah, you can see now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the reason is I'm sharing this is because the hypocrisy, because it's basically for them, for people like Senior Jones, Brianna Wu, basically the SJWs. It's okay when we do it, but it's horrible when it's against us. So here, let's see. CNN. Let me see. Count me among those that find veiled doxing threat to Han Solo very, very ethically shaky.
And then
I'm probably
changes her mind.
I'm probably too close to the subject of doxing after Gamergate to be objective. There are fine arguments on both sides. How can you be pro doxing at all? Alt-right is pointing to my tweet critiquing CNN. See, even Brianna Wu agrees with us. Don't use me to defend your terrible behavior. After Gamergate, I'm obviously very sensitive to doxing, but there are legitimate arguments for publishing Han Asshole Solo's name. Really?
Yeah, you can't say I'm against doxing, but if there's a but on the end, you're not against it. You're against doxing you and people you like. You're not against it in general. I am. I don't think anybody ought to be doxed, because there's crazy people on both sides that if your personal information is revealed, you could be hurt, especially if you say the wrong thing.
Yeah. Here, just to show how in touch she is with the average blue-collar Bostonian, Wu went back to posting sales listing of classic race cars. You couldn't make this up. Also, wow, and look at this DeLorean. Seller has put up 35K of parts in it. Only problem is it will drive like a DeLorean. I do not need another car. I do not need another car. I do not. Jesus Christ. Wow. How can you be this out of touch?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't got a lot to say about Brianna Wu because she's there's nothing to say about Brianna Wu. She's Brianna Wu. Anyone who knows anything about what happened during Gamergate knows all they need to know about Brianna Wu. She's insane. She's a liar.
Yeah.
And she's ethically bankrupt. So there's.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's the one who bitched about everyone. When she did the memes and then bitched when everyone memed her.
Or
like, Jesus.
Or sits on Twitter for hours talking about how Gamergate's harassing her because of her dog dying, and then you look through the freaking tweets and she hasn't gotten a single message from anybody in Gamergate.
Yeah,
she's an attention whore.
I'm a little pip from the chat said this. Apparently, the CNN app got hit hard with 1-star reviews.
Ha! That's what you get.
Yeah. Does not surprise me. I think I saw something about that earlier. So, I mean, what goes around comes around. I mean,
yes, CNN. It's very likely that CNN will not survive this, especially if they keep pissing off the internet. Because there's certain things that you don't do, and pissing off the internet is one of the things you don't do. You'd think they would know that after what happened to Gawker. You think Gawker would have been a warning to people like this. Don't fuck with the internet. Because when you fuck with the internet, you lose. You can't win.
Yeah, you would think that would be the what is it? The canary in the coal mine. Like, basically, don't do this shit. Don't go after your readers. don't go after Joe Schmo and try to ruin their lives, because it's gonna go bad. It's gonna go real bad.
The thing about people like the people who work at CNN is they don't understand that people like normal people who aren't rich and have these fancy careers with all this money, they stand up for each other. So when you go after somebody, like if you're a person with money, with with power and all this, and you use your power to go after the little guy, every other little guy who finds out is going to be like, hey, what the fuck? You know, because they're like, that could be me. That could be me they're going after. And they're going after this guy. Hell no, we got to stand up for him.
Yeah, but it's like I mean, it's like you said earlier in the stream, like with Boogie, like you wouldn't probably be confrontation with someone like Anita Sarkeesian, but if you had a friend of yours, like someone who's just a shitlord like you, and they're going after that person, you would step up to that person, because you wouldn't you have the empathy of that person. You wouldn't, sure as hell wouldn't like that. So you'll go to bat for someone you don't even know and defend that person.
Yeah, if I would have been there whenever Anita was doing that to Boogie, I definitely would have stood up for him. But, you know, I'm also not afraid of Anita Sarkeesian. So if Anita Sarkeesian was going after me, I would stand up for her because she can't hurt me. Yeah. But, you know, I understood Boogie, why he didn't want to. And that's precisely why I would have stood up for him too, because he's trying to protect himself. And it's another person. Like I said, a person with a lot of money, with a lot of power, who's picking on the little guy. And Boogie, he's popular, but he doesn't have anywhere near the following that Anita has. And he doesn't have anywhere near as much power as Anita has. So it's like the uber powerful person picking on the little guy. All the little guys are going to rally around this person and be like, hey, you don't fucking do this. There's a hell of a lot more of us than there are of you. So don't fuck with us.
Nobody has sympathy for someone like Anita Sarkeesian, and in this instance, CNN. Least of all, they're a multi-million-dollar corporate entity that looks to me likes to fuck with the regular person on the street just to get clicks. Like first, the Washington Post went after PewDiePie, and people kind of accepted and adapted to all the apocalypse. Basically, everyone losing money. I don't really have any vested interest because I'm such a small channel with only like a little over 600 subs. So, but people got hit hard with that crap. Like PewDiePie lost his deal with YouTube Red and endorsements with Disney and all sorts of things. But we kind of accepted that because they won that battle. But when they go after someone like that, it's gonna go 180, and suddenly they're on the back heel, and they're gonna lose all their advertisement.
Yeah, it was a lot different, I think, whenever people went after PewDiePie. I mean, obviously people were pissed, but even if tomorrow PewDiePie's channel was shut down and he could never have a channel for the rest of his life, he's got enough money. He's going to be okay. You know, PewDiePie isn't going to be ruined by this, but Boogie could be ruined. This guy who's CNN went after, he could be ruined. And people understand that. People understand that they got to stand up for the little guy, because if they want anybody to stand up for them, well, they got to stand up for this little guy. And I think most poor people, and not just poor people, but you know, people on the lower end of the economic spectrum, people who aren't rich, I think there is kind of a camaraderie. That's the word. A camaraderie there. It's unspoken, but I think it's there. And every time something like this happens, people show that, because people are like, oh, hell no. You don't do this. This is wrong. Big people like you shouldn't pick on little people, you know, because most people, I don't care what people tell you, most people don't like a bully. And that's what CNN is being right now. That's what everybody, like, that's what Anita Sarkeesian is being in regards to Boogie. It's person in power picking on the little guy, and people don't like that. Because I'm sure most people alive today have been bullied at some point. They know what it feels like. I know, I do.
I mean, it seems to me that transparency, honesty, being open to dialogue is a rare currency these days, and it's actually hard to actually just have a talk with people of difference of opinions. Like even I in real life, if you want to IRL, like when I dread to go to parties now, because the last two times I've actually gone to parties, each time was a feminist there trying to spread shit, talk about politics. I'm like, nope, 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 not now, not now.
Well, that's why YouTube is such a good platform, because people who aren't good at debate, like me, I'm not very good in a debate. I get nervous too easy. But people like that, they have a platform where they can say what they think without having to worry about someone being there shouting them down. Because that's usually how it goes. Whenever you get into a confrontation with a feminist in real life, they start shouting and screaming and screeching, and then you can't get a word in edgewise because they won't shut the fuck up.
I mean, I'm stubborn as hell, so that's why I'm like, if you ask my brother or my family, they would probably say I'm like stubborn and autistic as hell, because when I know something is wrong, I'm gonna go to the ends of the earth to actually say it's wrong, even though they tell me to let it go. So the one time there was this feminist who was. I was talking to this girl, minding my own goddamn business, and then this guy just comes up and are you a feminist? And we're like, no, and just trying to continue the conversation. And he was just butting in, and then I'm like, okay, fucker, you initiated this. I'm gonna finish this. So at the end of the conversation, he just walked away because he had no argument at all. The other time,
you're better than me. I probably would have just walked away.
Yeah, the other time I was like, yeah, okay, this is bullshit. I'm not gonna bother with this. This is like the last day of seeing these people, and I'm not gonna talk about like terrorism and feminism because I'm not gonna probably see all these people together ever again. So I'm like, okay, fuck this shit. I'm gonna just enjoy the evening. So
yeah, that's usually how it goes with me, because whenever I go somewhere, I don't want to have a political conversation outside of my computer. Not because I'm afraid to, but because I know I can't, because I'm not. You can't tell it from my videos because I'm very outspoken and very very in your face, but I am not that kind of person in real life. I'm not. I am the kind of person, if someone's yelling in my face, I look at the floor, I stand there, I take it. And then I just walk away because I don't like to fight. And a lot of politics now, sadly, is fighting, because one side always feels so strongly. And if you don't, and I do feel as strongly as they do about what I believe, but I just don't have the, I guess the balls to do it, to just yell back at them, especially since I don't think yelling does anything productive. It's just two people shouting each other down. It doesn't get anything done. And nine times out of 10, you're not going to find a feminist who's going to want to have just a nuanced conversation. It's so hard.
Yeah. I think also the biggest problem is people don't want to admit when they're wrong. That's a big thing. Like I've learned. As I said, I'm a stubborn motherfucker, but I've learned that if I'm wrong, I'm open to being wrong. At least I've learned through Gamergate that if I'm wrong, okay, I'm gonna put my hands up and say, okay, I'm wrong, sorry. And I think people would are gonna like that a hell of a lot more than doubling down and just continuing on your lie.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit.
That was the hardest thing about coming out of feminism, was admitting that I was wrong about so many things. Because, you know, when you believe something for so long, and then out of nowhere you got all these people oh, excuse me, you got all these people around you telling you that what you believe is wrong. It's just like, oh my God, it's jarring. And it's probably even more jarring to people like people who go to these universities who've never been told no a single day in their lives, you know. And then they show up, and then they have all these people showing up telling them no, that social justice crap is wrong. And then it's jarring for them. It was jarring for me, and I wasn't, and I was never as far in as they were.
Yeah, I've said this on streams before. I was never really a social justice warrior or a feminist. I never called I was probably naive in my teenage years, but I was never leaning that way. And politically, I was probably naive as well. But when you're young, you're probably a little bit more naive than you are in your 20s or 30s. So, and you experience a lot. So,
the funny thing about me, though, is when I was in high school, I had the right idea about feminism. I just didn't know it. In high school, whenever someone would talk to me about feminism, I'd be like, "Oh, feminists, are you serious? Those are the people who think that women are oppressed because they do laundry. I don't like them." And then I did a 180 in college, and then I did another 180 and went right back to where I was in high school. Oh, that was a funny story.
Yeah. I mean, I never like encountered really like this sort of discussion in school. I just I was also I'm in real life. I don't really I'm the introvert of the group. So I don't unless I have something on my mind that I want to share. I'm not gonna talk.
So yeah, that's me too.
So that's why I found outlet like YouTube. Because then I can actually talk about stuff I like instead of in a conversation where you talk about like what kind of cushions you like on your sofa. Like that doesn't interest me at all.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Yeah, no, like everyday discussions, because it's so trivial to me that it doesn't really interest me. What really interests me is what I don't know. You can probably call me really autistic in that sense. Is what I think. What I think is important. I think is really important, like politics and all of that sort of things, games or whatever. What I find interesting is really interesting to me. Everything else, just if it doesn't really impact me in any big way, then I don't really care. Like. I don't really care what kind of drapes I have or stuff like that. So
I think that's a normal thing that anybody thinks, though, that people are only interested in talking about things that they're interested in. It's like if you go to a party with a bunch of frat boys who've never played World of Warcraft a day in their life, and you start talking to them about the backstory of Illidan Stormrage, and nobody's going to know what you're talking about. They're not going to be interested. Just like if the same jock showed up at a freaking Comic-Con with a bunch of nerds and started talking about football, I bet you a good 90% of those nerds aren't going to have any idea what he's talking about, and they're not going to care. It's it's not any different. It's just
But I've also like realized like it's a very deep and insightful quote, which I think it was Socrates who said this, that, or it was Plato. I can't remember, but the more you know, or the more wisdom you get, or knowledge, basically in life, the more you know, or the more you know that you don't know anything. Basically, is so the more knowledge you get, the more you realize how little you actually know. So that's how
that's why they say that dumb people talk a lot, but then intelligent people talk less, because they're more humble.
Yeah, that's very true. So yeah, that's why I'm really scared, because I have Sweden as my neighbor, and Germany is like my home country, and seeing everything there is just like really freaking scary. Like, so yeah, because I have. I have a job where I interact with a lot of Germans, so I always hear the one question they always ask me compared to because I live in Norway, because how is the immigration here? That's the always I always get that question. And Sweden is a disaster, as you know. Oh my God. That country is doomed, so to speak.
A lot of the countries in Europe now are doomed just because
Yeah.
they've allowed open immigration for so long. I feel bad for everybody who lives in Europe, because, you know, if something similar happened in America, we're a little bit safer, because there's more guns in Texas than I'd say in all of Europe combined.
Well, yeah, but you also have the difference with at least Norway, that people here have been in the army, so people are actually trained. If
Yeah,
something
well, a lot of people in the deep south and in the south are trained to use guns too, because they use them for hunting. But it's still the fact that
he's military, so
even an untrained guy with a gun has a better chance against a terrorist than than an untrained guy without a gun.
yeah,
And that's
true.
it's still better. I mean, because you could still get a lucky shot even if you're not trained and save your life. And I think that's probably why a lot of the extremists haven't tried anything as crazy in America as they've tried in Europe, because they know they get shot.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see why you guys have the Second Amendment, and why you have guns. So I can kind of see why you. But the crime is so low in Norway that, I mean, we've only had one terror attack since the Second World War. So
well, that's good.
I mean, and that was a right-wing extremist. That was Anders Breivik, who killed like 77 people. But he didn't go to a place where people defended themselves. First, he blew up a building and then shot kids on an island.
Ah, what a pussy.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
like there was one cop, and the cop who was there on that island, he shot first. So like there was no chance in hell that like he completely surprised the cop that was there, so he wouldn't have had any chance anyways.
But I still maintain the opinion that the terror attacks in Europe wouldn't be anywhere near as bad as they were, or as they have been, if the normal population had the right to bear arms. I still maintain that. I mean, I'm sure there would still be terror attacks. Don't get me wrong. There's still terror attacks in America every once in a while, but they're nowhere near at the level that they are in Europe. And it's really scary to me.
Yeah.
Because, I have friends who live in Europe. I have friends who live in England and, in places like that. And I could find out tomorrow that one of them got blown up, because
Yeah.
And it's scary.
I'm a little Pip in the chat says a Japanese general in Japan said behind every blade of grass is a rifle during Second World War. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, but I also think the Europe have been way too I don't know if either naive or incredibly incompetent, by just assuming that everything could proceed as normal, with the influx of all these people who have not assimilated at all.
I don't know. You also have to question how many people in power who are letting these people in are actually Muslim and actually want all these people in here to take over, because you don't know how many of them are. And I mean, I know that sounds like a massive conspiracy theory and it sounds dumb, but I mean, it's entirely possible, because there are a lot of Muslims in power in Europe, and you just got to wonder, are any of them, pushing for these people to come in and take over because they want an Islamic takeover? And then at the same time, you got all these people, who like don't want to be seen as racist, who are just like, okay, yeah, let them in because we're good people, and we're not racist, and we're gonna let them in because we're good people. We're good people. We're good people. And it's just like, It's a combination of good intentions and, you know, people just being dumb. It's like stupid good intentions. I mean, you can have good intentions and still be stupid. And I think
Yeah, but I like the phrase, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions."
oh yeah, it definitely is, because that's how political correctness starts. You know, it starts from people with people's good intentions, like not wanting to hurt people's feelings, and then it just takes off from there.
Yeah, the like the most polite start of it is just to be nice to each other, and then it just, yeah, goes downhill from there.
Well, I used to be so, you know, hardcore against fighting against bullying in schools, like other children not being allowed to pick on other children. And then here recently I've been thinking about it, and it was like, yeah, I was bullied relentlessly in school. Like people were straight up awful to me. But I've got a thick skin now. I learned from it. It made me into the person I am now. Would I really have wanted that to change? Would I really have wanted to have this peachy keen childhood where no one was ever mean to me? What would I have learned from that?
Yeah, I actually learned that as well, because I was a foreigner, because I moved here, and I got tons of crap thrown my way, because the easiest insult to throw my way was basically Nazi, and I was so young that I got, for not lack for a better word, triggered by that, because I got so angry, because I was basically being blamed for some shit that I had nothing to do with, and
Mm-hmm.
through the years I just got used to it, and it doesn't really bother me anymore. That's like the word that has least effect on me. If you call me a Nazi, like, okay, what else is new? Give me something original.
I think a lot of people have forgotten that old phrase, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt you. And now the new catchphrase is stop the words that hurt people. And it's just like, okay, that's all well and good, but that's not going to prepare people for the real world, because in the real world there are no teachers to stand by and make this kid over here stop being mean to you.
Yeah.
You gotta learn to deal with this shit yourself. And I didn't do that in school because I was too much of a pansy ass. I never stood up to my bullies. If I could go back, I would. But you know, back then I didn't, because I was afraid. I was a little pansy ass. But you know, we're not teaching kids to stand up to bullies. We're telling everybody you're not allowed to say anything that upsets anyone. So we're just not even giving anyone the opportunity to say anything mean to begin with. And then these kids grow up and they go out into the real world and they got all these people saying mean things to them and they're not ready for it.
Yeah, and I like what Aniwarski says in his stream, because he was called a retard when he was young because of his stuttering. But he said that the words the retard doesn't really hurt him. It's you give the word power, not
Mm-hmm.
so if you said racial slurs or whatever, or slurs in general, you're the one, like, offense is not given, it's taken. So you're the
Mm-hmm.
one giving the word meaning. It's like the like, I don't know, the social justice warriors like to use the Harry Potter mythology as their movement or whatever. uh the resistance and all, Dumbledore's army, and I've seen shit. Oh my god, it's so stupid. Anyways, um it's basically god, no, I lost my train of thought. um uh where was I going? What was I saying?
Harry Potter, Dumbledore's army.
um I completely forgot. Anyways, that yeah, oh yeah, Voldemort, because in the movies they don't speak the word Voldemort, but Harry Potter uses says the word, because he's not afraid of the person or the word. So
Mm-hmm.
so the word only has meaning in what you put into the word. Like, it doesn't really hurt anyone except for what you think it does.
Yeah, and and you'd think with these social justice warriors being as obsessed with Harry Potter as they are, that they'd be able to understand that, but they miss one of the fundamental messages that is written in those books, that people give words power. Words do not have power unless they're given power. You don't have to be afraid of a word. And but apparently they just completely missed that message, and they.
Yeah, I mean, the author of Harry Potter has also forgotten the meaning of the book. So
we don't talk about her. She's just, oh my god, I've never been so disappointed with someone in my life. It's just like you. I mean, I'm not going to pretend Harry Potter was some amazing work of literature, but it was a good series. It was legitimately good series, and it was fun to read, and I loved the characters. I actually cried when a bunch of them died in the last book. I was legitimately sad. And then she starts saying all this bullcrap, and I'm like, God damn it! Another one of my heroes has fallen. How many more are gonna fall? Just add her to the list of celebrities I no longer respect anymore.
Yeah. It's not like it's a lot of the Rings caliber of book, but I know what you mean. I mean, as far as I know, there's no book series that have gotten a film deal as fast as Harry Potter did.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an amazing story that's gonna. I don't think it's gonna go down in history like Lord of the Rings did, but it's good for all ages, and it's so sad that to lose respect for someone who made something that you enjoyed so much. It'd be like if George R.R. Martin came out tomorrow and, started talking about toxic masculinity and talking about rape culture and all that crap. I'd be like, no, no. I would be so sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, I have Tinder installed on my phone. And I was just browsing through, and I think I didn't look at the picture or something. I just swiped right, and then I got a match, and I'm like, "Oh crap! What did I do now?" And I looked at the profile picture, and it said they them pronouns and feminist, polysexual, and I'm like, "Oh my god! What did I do?"
Close it! Run away! Run away! Run away!
And I'm like, oh god, oh god.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah. So it's like something that that deters me to no end. When I see feminists, I'm like, nope.
Run away screaming. No.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, I've got to go. I've been sitting on my bladder for like an hour, and I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay. I was just gonna say we have to wrap it up now. We've been going pretty long. Yeah. So I put all your links in the description below. And yeah, if you want to do this sometime else in the future, just I'm gonna let's message, and I'm gonna send you the time from maybe you want to use the video which we talked here, so I'm gonna send it to you afterwards. So yeah.
Alrighty.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.